In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing The Night House. The Night House is a 2021 psychological supernatural horror film and stars Rebecca Hall as a widowed wife who starts to uncover dark secrets about her husband after a tragic event that happened to him and at the lake house that she's staying at. It's called The Night House for a reason. Now, basically, the movie starts off with something happening to her husband. We don't know what happens, but then over the course of the movie, we understand that she's uncovering certain things that she didn't know about her husband. Now, we understand that there's slow goings. This movie is very confusing at times. I would just want to say that. But the reason this story is because it's very different. Is it a psychological horror film? Absolutely. Rebecca Hall in a horror film always gives a great performance. But I do want to say she has to stop doing movies like this because I feel like it's just taking a toll on her as an actress. She's done movies where it's suicidal or horror or bodily harm, and it's like, oh, okay, let's take a step back a little bit, you know? This movie doesn't even stop there for her at all. She herself is in her own mind. You, the viewer, are like, all right, what's happening? What's going on? I'm trying not to give anything away in this review because this movie had its premiere at the Sundance Film Festival in January of 2020, and it was talked about and raved about because of the positive critics' reviews and everything like that. And I gained wind of it when it was on the festival circuit. I felt like, okay, The Night House, psychological thriller, something happens, what's going on? She finds out that this house, or so-called house, was built backwards in a way for certain reasons. The reason it was built backwards in a way is because something happened to the main character that Rebecca Hall plays as Beth. Now, Beth tragically had an event happen to her when she was younger in a way, or high school or college, and that stopped her from dying. And so-called death, or nothing in this movie is what it's called, wants her, because she was supposed to die, but now she beat death, and now, it's happening. So basically, nothing tries to convince the husband to bring Beth to the other side. But in order to confuse nothing, or death, as it seems, the husband does things in a way where you don't understand in order to confuse nothing and death. It works in a way where it's really, really complicated at times, but if you don't understand what's happening, you really do get confused. There's not much jump scares in this movie at all. There's maybe a few that's just, oh, okay, it's just spine tingling that it just pops up, that you see these individuals and people coming around here and there. There's a reason that you see these certain individuals or these women that look like the main character, Beth. There's a reason for that, and that reason is explained in this movie. Now, the difference is that when the movie turns into this shade of red, you're in the world of nothing, or basically death's world. And when you go back to the reality, you're in your own world. She keeps dreaming and doing certain things, like how totems are done, how different psychological aspects are done, with how voodoo dolls, trapping a spirit is done, and why there's another house like this. And there's a reason for it. You have to understand and watch this movie for what it is, because it's absolutely amazing and divisive, and it's really underrated because we're getting movies that have the title House in it that really nobody has seen psychological horror wise or even supernatural horror wise. I did a review of a movie called The Deep House, total different understanding and meaning. That movie was clever, it was done differently. This is The Night House, has nothing to do, the both are not connected, but when you depict a house that is part of a horror lore supernatural universe psychologically, it takes the aspect and you gets pulled into it, and you're just like, okay, all right, it's a haunted house, what's going to happen? No, nothing of that entirely is what you think about this movie. People might say, oh, it's slow going, it's nothing happens, it's slow moving, what's this, what's that? You start understanding what's happening maybe midway through the point if you really pay close attention to this movie. Some might find it confusing, but then others are like, whoa, 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 you don't want this certain character to do certain things in this movie. Just the unraveling and what Beth, the character, finds out as you find out along with her is absolutely mind-blowing, and the way this story was done was really good. This movie does not need a sequel at all. There's no reason for The Night House 2, something something title, whatever. This is a standalone movie, which is really good, really fun, and I absolutely enjoyed it. This was on my radar for a very long time. Finally got a chance to watch it on HBO Max when I found out it was on. I missed it in the theaters and I missed it on certain other streaming platforms, but when it came on HBO Max, couldn't wait to check it out. I checked it out and I wasn't disappointed at all. And I don't think you will be either. For me, The Night House gets 5 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about The Night House. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? Did you like the concept of the story? How did you like Rebecca Hall's acting? And do you think that this movie stands on its own as an original horror idea? Let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked. And I'll see you guys in the next review video.